Well, wine enjoyed by many people, but not everyone can appreciate the work that goes into making it. The family behind Layton's Chan's Vineyard and Winery does. So what does it take to go from the grape to the glass? DelmarvaLife's Brian Spiros got an up-close look at it all. Here's the story.
It could be a scene right out of Napa Valley or the French countryside. But believe it or not, it's right in Dorchester County. It's the Layton's Chan's Vineyard and Winery in Vienna.
It's very relaxing. That is really what we've built our whole business on, is building a relaxing destination.
Jennifer Layton is one of the family members behind the entire operation. DelmarvaLife got a behind-the-scenes peek at all the work that goes on here. But before we get to that, here's how it all started. The Laytons have always made a living by farming, growing soybeans, corn, and wheat. But when it came time to support two families on the farm, the Laytons had to find another outlet to keep everything going. So in 2007, they began planting grapes.
We started as farmers, and we believe if you grow a better grape, you will make a better wine. 3
years later, they opened the winery, and there's a tremendous amount of work that goes into it all.
With corn, you want to grow as much as you can, because the more bushels, the more money you're going to make. With grapes, it's about quality.
Richard Murphy is the vineyard manager, and the entire winemaking process starts with him. His job is to maintain the 13 acres of grapes. That means pruning, prepping, and preventing disease. Richard says working with the vines can be difficult at times.
A grapevine will grow its own way. If you don't maintain it and you don't tuck it and you don't tie it and you don't take care of that vine's going to grab a hold of something, latch a hold of something, and it's going to grow. It's sort of like if you're in the woods and you see the vines that goes up trees.
Right now, the grapevines are starting to bud. They'll be ready to harvest in September. After that, the magic begins.
Once it's picked, it's brought back here. We either crush it or press it, depending on whether we're making white or red wines, and go through that process, go through all the fermentation, and all the way through to bottling.
William Layton is the winemaker.
It's very involved. There's a lot of ways I can make the wine differently, and there's a lot of points where the wine can go wrong.
To make sure things don't go wrong, William says he constantly tests the wine to make sure it has that perfect balance. He does much of that work right from this room, which serves as his lab.
Really, you start with the science and end with the art, because you need to have certain parameters for the grape. It needs to be a certain pH, have a certain amount of acid in there, a certain amount of sulfites, a certain amount of sugar, all these things that we can test here in a lab. And figure out whether we have. But once you've got all that straight, it comes down to the taste, to the art of it. And you know, if we blend a little bit of this, blend a little bit of that, that's all the art of it, just tasting it and seeing where we want it to end up.
From there, it's time for bottling, which is a well-orchestrated process. This is YouTube video of that happening at the winery.
Going through each year's grapes and harvest and coming up with a wine that people love is just a great feeling.
Layton's Chan's, like many other vineyards, is unable to grow enough grapes to keep up with the amount of wine they make. But Jennifer says the majority of grapes are still local.
All of our grapes are grown on the Eastern Shore except for our Joe's Cool Red. But everything else is grown on the Eastern Shore. Like you said, the watermelon is 100% watermelon wine. It's not a grape wine flavored with watermelon. So we have the big watermelon scoop in the summer with volunteers, have a big party, scoop out all the watermelon to make that wine.
The behind-the-scenes work at Layton's Chan's isn't as behind-the-scenes as you may think. They offer tours to their visitors to see the process from vine to the bottle. Even more, they open up their event room to the public.
We have baby showers, bridal showers, rehearsal dinners. I mean, we have weddings here. We have birthday, like you said, birthday parties, retirement parties, graduation parties. So we have a wide variety.
And if you just want to stop by to sample or buy a bottle of their wine in the tasting room, that's fine too.
A lot of people will say, well, I didn't like Maryland wines and I tasted yours. But I think a lot of times it's just having them open their mind. They may say they don't like Maryland wines, but I don't know how many they've actually tried.
We also learned some interesting facts about wine while we were at Layton's Chan's. First, we've all heard the saying, wine gets better with age, but do you really know why? William explained that with some wines, a chemical in the grape skin and in the wood of an oak barrel combine to refine the taste over time. He also adds that when you buy a bottle of wine, you don't have to let it sit. Once it's been sealed with a cork, it's ready to drink.
When we sell a bottle, we expect people to drink it right away.
And if you get a bottle from Layton's Chance, odds are you'll be doing that anyway.
I know Joe's Cool Red is my husband's favorite. My favorite, watermelon. Now, in addition to the event room you just saw in the piece, Layton's Chance does have outdoor concerts on the property. There's also a book club and happy hour. All of it gives you an excuse to go in and try some of their wines. Well, still to come on DelmarvaLife, they're not your typical golf carts. In fact, they can be anything you want them to be. How Dorchester Auto has found success in their carts and low-speed vehicles. Plus, you're super busy while trying to be a super mom? Well, we'll give you some parenting secrets to try to help you out. But first, here's a handy how-to from Rachel Ray.
So, ladies, this is a good double-duty tip for your husband's tie rack. You can even buy tie racks attached to hangers like the one we have here. But, you know, we have these in both of our closets, my husband John and myself. I use mine to organize scarves, belts, and accessories. I put all the scarves on one side. I line up all the belts on the other side. They stay in place. They're not constantly falling down to the bottom of the closet. And you can see everything you've got at one glance.